Hello everyone, it's Jo from Jo's Kitchen here again, and it is Christmas kitchen today, and I'm going to show you how to make goose fat roast potatoes in a Tefal Actifry. Now, I know what you're saying, why on earth would I make roast potatoes in a Tefal Actifry? Why? Well, two reasons. One is that you can still use goose fat, which obviously everyone knows is the best fat and makes the best roast potatoes, but you don't need as much of it. And also, you can cook them straight from raw in the Actifry, and they only take about 40 minutes, which means on Christmas Day you don't need to worry, you don't have any stress, you just go whack them in the Actifry 40 minutes or so before you're ready to serve, and you've got lovely tasty roast potatoes, no parboiling, no mess, no stress, easy. All you got to do is turn them around a couple of times. So, and obviously with it being an Actifry, they are air fryers and they don't use as much fat as I say, so they are slightly healthier for you. You get the best of both worlds. You get nice crispy potatoes, fluffy in the middle, that aren't as bad for you as if they've been swimming in the fat in the roasting tray. So as far as I'm aware, winner roast turkey dinner. So I'm going to show you how to do it now. I'm just going to change the camera angle slightly so you can see what I'm doing on the Actifry as opposed to me. Although, look at my fabulous jumper, woo! My Actifry, it's just a bog standard family 1.5 kilogram one. So what we're going to do first of all is pop the lid. Now you're going to think I'm a bit mad at this, but what we're going to do first of all is, you know the bit in the middle that turns everything round? I want you to take it out. You do not need it for this. So take it out and get rid of it. Obviously don't lose it though, because you will still need it for other things. Now, then we're going to put our potatoes in, which are raw. The only thing I will say that I do is I actually cut my potatoes what I call the Nigella way. Excuse me, I'm having to get down a bit closer because of the Actifry. And that is that you have, I cut them in triangles so you get as many cut sides as you can, because the more cut sides you have on your potatoes, the crispier they will be. And they are completely raw, so I'm just going to put them in. There you go. Steady on. Off we go. Very exciting to put the potatoes in. Now, I actually left my goose fat, which you can buy in jars from supermarkets, out at room temperature. So it is quite runny at the moment. So all I'm going to do is, if it's not runny at all, what I would do first is just turn the Actifry on for a couple of minutes and then just heat the goose fat up first just to get it going. But this is quite runny and it will heat up in a couple of minutes in the Actifry. So I'm just going to drizzle a bit over. Okay, I know they say you don't need more than a tablespoon of fat in an Actifry. But at Christmas, use 3 or so tablespoons of goose fat, because it is Christmas after all. And you're still using a lot less fat than what you would use in a roasting tray. So put it on. And now I'm going to turn it on. And leave it for about 10-15 minutes before I turn over the potatoes like you would do in the traditional fashion. So turn it on. It does sound like an aeroplane, I do apologise. I'm just going to set it to 40 minutes. And I'll come back and give them a check in about 10-15 minutes or so, and you can check them with me and we'll see how they're doing. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes now and I'm just about to turn the potatoes over, so let's have a look at them. So one thing I like about the Actifry is that if you do pop the bottom off, it automatically stops, so you're not going to hurt yourself. Now just get 2 spoons and turn them over using your 2 spoons. So they are starting to cook already. The fat is melted and it's bubbling and lovely. So the same as you would do with normal roast potatoes, just make sure that they've got a good covering of fat. So what I notice in the Actifry sometimes is the fat all goes to one end, so just make sure, particularly because we're not using the rotating thing, that they all get some fat. So they do stick to the bottom a bit, so just make sure that they are all coated. And if you need to, you can always put some more fat in there. I'm not going to at the moment, so they're all turned over. Now I'm going to give it another 10 minutes. There we go. So just be careful because that lid is a bit hot. Okay, so the Actifry's got about 15 minutes left now, so I'm just going to turn them over again. They are starting to get quite crisp now, so I'm just going to twirl them around. There we go. So I try and move them around a bit because, as I say, the fat does sometimes stay in one position or at the bottom of the thing. And sorry, I'm losing my head to you again. So just move them around a bit. Make sure they all get nice and covered. And they are smelling fabulous, which is making me feel very, very hungry. And I kind of wish I had the rest of roasted now, but I haven't. So just whack them over, there we go. Put it back on. And I'll see you in a few minutes when in 50 minutes when they'll be cooked. Yay! Roast potato time, nearly, yay! So there is just under a minute left on my Actifry, so we just wait for them to finish, and then I'm just going to drain them briefly on kitchen paper, and then they are ready to serve. Now, do I look stressed? No. Am I worried about roasting things and all that kind of jazz? No. So, once your turkey's cooked and you're roasting your other veg in the oven, you can just put your potatoes in the Actifry, get your turkey ready, serve all your veg up, get your roast potatoes out. The oven's free for your Yorkshire puddings, so it is really easy. So if you haven't got an Actifry, please get one. They are good. So I use mine all the time, and I also make good chips with them as well. I forgot to say at the start, these are Marriage Piper potatoes. They're the only potatoes I recommend for roasts and chips. So get a bag of Marriage Pipers and you won't go wrong. And just at the nick of time, there we go, beep 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 beep, it's finished. So I'm just going to turn it off, otherwise it will keep beeping. And then here we have our roast potatoes. So you can leave them in for a couple of minutes if you want to, just to get a bit more colour on them, but look, they are very, very crisp. So you could give it 45 minutes if you want to, but I will be honest here and say I'm actually filming this with the tight deadline for the school run. So if I was cooking these, I might give them 45 minutes because I did cook them fairly big. So, but 45 minutes should do you if you're not. Obviously, if you cook them smaller than 35 minutes, might do it. So, yeah, so we'll just drain them for a second. And then we're ready to serve. And here are the finished roast potatoes. How good do they look? They look amazing. So do it my way, make them in the Actifry or any air fryer, although you might need to change the method slightly for other air fryers. But yeah, they are healthier, they're easy, no mess, and they keep your ovens free for doing Yorkshire puddings and other things and other roasted veg. So there you go. Goose fat roast potatoes in an Actifry, sorted. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, then I will love you forever. So stay tuned for more recipes and reviews and hauls. I do the odd random food haul as well. So planning lots more videos in the new year. So thank you very much for watching. If you do try these roast potatoes, and give it a comment below. I will link to the full recipe on my blog as well. So thank you very much for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. Bye. Nom 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 nom.